We now introduce a former Grand Slam of Darts, Winmore World Masters and World Cup singles champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the twice reigning Lakeside World Champion. It's Scotty Too Hotty, Scott Waits.
So here we go, the Battle of South Yorkshire in the form of Brian Dawson from Thursko near Barnsley and Scott Waits from West Yorkshire, Huddersfield. Could have played this, Chris Mason, in a bar somewhere in between. I'm sure there's a place in Wakefield that would have had them.
Probably sure they've played in many pubs up there.
Yes, as they say in Yorkshire, towmen on stage, towmen. And both of them are good players. Very good players. The captain of Yorkshire and one of his team, Scott Waits, one of his team, but of course the reigning world champion. Another great moment for the man on the left there, here in January, when he won his second world title. Equally at 7-1 in the shape the way he won the first one.
Yep.
Both 7-1. 2013 against Tony O'Shea and 2016 against Jeff Smith. Both have been in this box in the course of this weekend, doing their duties with the mic, and very good they've done too.
And also that impressive Grand Slam final, and then followed up with a Grand Slam win.
I think that's probably the most remarkable of all, because that's where he trailed James Wade by, was it 8-0? 8-0 was it, and he won 10-8, was it 10-9? 11-9.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Scott to throw first.
So Waits won the throw. Only time will tell how important that is. And Dawson said to me after his victory yesterday, and after Scott Waits had won,
140.
Can't wait for this. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, Brian in his first match, he hit 19 tons, but only 4 140s and no 180s. In comparison, Waits, 2 180s, 11 140s.
81.
Especially the ton pluses, which included that 170 checkout and the 155 to win it. So you would think Dawson's going to have to find his scoring boots to make this close.
Yes, if that's anything to go by. Those are very, very positive errors. They left that right hand of Scott Waits with real purpose.
He started
what a result.
He started the leg with 2 treble 20s, and it looked like he was going to open with a 180.
100.
Said they have played before. It's 1 apiece. Played in the British Open last year. Scotty won that one 5-3. In 2014, he played in the Belgium Open quarterfinal. On that occasion, Brian won 5-4. They've had some tight tussles, and I should imagine they've played plenty
Game shot
in local league stuff.
Scott Waits. Second leg, Brian.
Well, maybe in local league. It is a fair distance from where Waits lives to where Dawson lives.
40.
Dawson halfway between Barnsley and Doncaster, and Waits way over in West Yorkshire at Huddersfield. They're probably in different local leagues, in fairness, but maybe in Super
100.
Yeah, possibly.
Super League, Yorkshire Super League. So.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? I can remember going up there in my pump to do an exhibition.
100.
I got to play the top 10 Super League players with the top 10 averages. It didn't go well for me that night.
85.
Some standard.
Well, it's almost like playing an international team.
It was.
The Yorkshire.
John Walton was there, and Scott Waits, and the list of names goes on.
If ever Yorkshire gets independence, I'll back them to win the World Cup.
Yeah, that was a tough gig. They did invite me back the following year. I declined.
26.
Not that I didn't enjoy myself, but yeah, I took one hell of a beating.
45.
Lovely first start. Fancy this. Fancy this.
140.
So nearly, so nearly. Had a 180 each already. We're only the second leg. Almost had a third there.
140
already.
What a cracking match this is turning out to be already.
Treble 19. Just set it up now and hope.
54. Ryan, you require
111. Get Dave on 111, can't you?
Yep.
Yep. Many of you will have checked your 111
79.
on the telly to pick us up.
56.
Dawson didn't manage to do so there and may pay the penalty. Double 9. Yes,
Game
no
shot
problem.
in the
2-0.
Scott Waits.
Yeah, looking really sharp weights.
Third leg.
Though he threw some
first.
fabulous stuff in his first round game, he did look a little edgy at times. A lot more comfortable now when it's a slightly longer race. Must be very
60.
familiar playing his good mate, Brian Dawson.
Just a hint of the shoulder there with Waits on that last start, because he has had problems in the past. I'm not suggesting that he has problems now, but he does occasionally have the
It's like a thrutch.
the propensity to jerk. Yes.
45.
Very short backswing on Dawson's throw, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it's.
A real punch.
26.
I think that's a good word. It is more like a punch. The arm comes back probably half the distance of most other players. Certainly, you've got the right-angled approach there, the right-angled arm with Scott Waits.
I did notice in my times up there, when I have been up there doing in Yorkshire, doing the many exhibitions I've done up around that area, they do throw their darts quite flat. And I was once told that was a lot to do with the pubs are quite low ceilings, the older pubs.
I think you'll find the actual reason is that it's the Yorkshire board that doesn't have trebles, and the way they score their big scores is by hitting double top.
So if they get them to lay down,
you hit the
94.
You throw the dart in such a manner that it goes under the target and into it rather than over it, so that you don't. Dennis Priestley is an exception to that rule. But the greatest exponent of that, for my money, was Brian Langworth, Sheffield player, England international, great player. Probably didn't play for England as much as he ought to have done.
And a fabulous player on the doubles board, which you're
Scott, you require
alluding
146.
146 to Waits.
Oh, shots on.
Oh yes. What a finish, Chris! What a finish!
Clean as a whistle.
Wouldn't you?
Fourth leg.
Clean as a whistle.
First. Game on.
And that's the old traditional route of 146, treble 20,
47.
treble 18, double 16.
Yeah.
A lot of players now, and nothing wrong with it, they go the 2 treble 19s.
Yeah.
Same result.
Oh, I suppose it's how you feel at the time. I mean, they're so used to throwing at one target and then repeating it, obviously, with the treble 20s. So I suppose the 2 treble 19s and the double 16s just across the way there. It's a shorter adjustment. And if the first one goes in, players of this level will generally follow it in. Okay, it's another 180 here. Oof.
140.
You can discuss the finishes forevermore, and it's really interesting. One of the ways I learned so many of them was playing in the pub and in the Super League and talking
55.
about all these various finishes afterwards at the bar and long after the last dart's been thrown. And always something new to learn. It fascinates me, it really does.
That's one of the, apart from the technology in the game and the dart design and
91.
stem and flights, is the actual counting now that people are generally far more proficient and second.
180. Scott, you require
Well, he's leading in the
170.
180 stakes, but losing in the match.
And And especially how much more the bullseye is used now.
Yes, than it used to be.
60. Yeah. Brian, you require 137.
We can have another big finish. Well, he
97.
should get his
Scott,
first
you require
chalk on the board.
110.
Whoa, that was
Unlucky.
close.
Brian, you require 40.
So he's earned the right here with that maximum, just under that, and he's away. But now he could be gone.
20.
Dear, dear, dear. That's his bet noir tonight.
Scott, you require 36.
Yeah, none from 4 now for Dawson.
Game shot.
In comparison, 4 from 7.
Scott Waits.
For Waits, 57%.
Fifth leg, it's Scott to throw first.
And there you have it. 180, 5 140s, 2 ton pluses, that fabulous 146 finish. All equates to a 4-0 lead.
94.
Yes, 92.56 Waits, 85, 81.47 Dawson. And that is reflected in the score, and his 180s, 3 of them now, are impressive. But they've got to be backed up.
Yep. 180 followed by a 60 is going to level matches up with Waits' consistent scoring of tons and 140s. But this is much better. Look at
140.
this.
It was the king of bling himself who said 180s for show, doubles for dough, and it's no more being illustrated, no
99.
better than in Dawson's game tonight so far.
Especially in that Lorraine Winstanley match as well.
Yes, indeed.
40.
When you're 4-0 down, you've gone 180, 140, and you bounce out straight out of the treble 20. Don't go to the casino tonight, Brian.
83. Brian,
You get a few 180s, 536s. That's the way to do it.
89. Scott, you require 125.
125 then for Waits for 5-0. No.
Well, there's a break after this one.
47.
Brian will be grateful for it,
Brian,
especially
you
if he can
require
just nick
52.
this one, get a chance to regroup. Oh, actually, no, it's the 6th leg now, isn't it? So, yeah, this is a
Game
must win.
shot and the 5th leg.
Well,
Brian
he
Dawson.
responds by holding his hands out to the crowd. He's got that leg. And the important thing is, it's against the darts.
Sixth
And
leg,
as you
Brian to
suggested,
throw
Chris,
first.
it means that he comes back from the break. Well, we're not having
No,
a break.
we're having a break at 6
sorry,
now, aren't we?
At 6, of course.
Longer format.
There we are. So anyway, I think having won that leg, he'd be happy to
100.
continue anyway.
Yeah.
He's got the ton. Needed that. Desperately needed that.
Well, 4-0 in a race to
97.
7. He's sort of, he's got a sniff, hasn't he? He's scoring well enough when he's in.
Well, he's got a lot to be pleased about today because he's a big
140.
Barnsley football fan, and they beat Millwall 3-1 today at Wembley to re-establish themselves as a championship club. I'm delighted for that club, which I know
45.
quite well, and Brian is a big Tyke Barnsley fan. Sad for our good friend Georgie Noble, who supports
55.
Millwall, and of course Andy Fordham, who also does. I'm sure they'll be back next year.
140.
6 140 now. The Waits 5 to Dawson, so it's in the scoring department. Dawson's really holding his own.
76.
3 180s. Just 1 from 6 on the doubles. If it wasn't for that stat, he'd be well in this match.
140.
I mentioned the great Brian
130.
Langworth, one of the best players to come out of South Yorkshire for certain, Sheffield man. He wants a go at the ball
105.
here. Would have
Scott,
been
you require
nice.
79.
Waits wanting 79. 20 and tops for for a 6th leg.
59.
Going 5-1. Did you ever meet Bimbo?
Brian, you required
Yes.
25.
Great player. Came from Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Wonderful player.
Beat me in the British Open one year.
Yeah.
A long time ago. But yeah, he's a fabulous player.
21. Scott, you required 20. Game
there you have it.
shot and the 6th leg.
6 legs
Scott
gone,
Waits.
and Scott Waits well on his way to the next round. He's leading, as you can see, by 5 legs to 1. Well, this Yorkshire encounter between Scott Waits and Brian Dawson did promise to be a very closely fought affair, but it's beginning to look at this stage as though Waits will make his way through to the semis. I'm not writing the Yorkshire captain off by any means, but you've got to fancy the reigning world champion not to mess this one up, Chris.
No, their previous encounters have been really close. 5-4 and 5-3, 1 apiece. But the worrying stat for Dawson, 1 from 8.
7th leg, it's
And
Scott
that's
to throw
what's
first.
put him in this situation. He's had his chances. They've just not dropped in the doubles for him. Where this man, 5 from 9. And that's the stat
100.
where the big difference is. Because scoring wise, very little in it.
100.
The 2 180s that Dawson is it more than Waits. Makes up for the 2 140s more than
140.
Waits is it than Dawson.
One of which was a 1-4-6 Jekko.
Yes.
To take that 3rd leg.
100.
1st to 7. So, not quite done with Dawson. But he's got to win this leg against the throw, you feel. And
100.
Waits is not going to make it any easier for him. Needs a full house here.
When you're playing someone and they're 2 away, there's always that glimmer of
70.
hope when they go within
Scott,
1. You end up feeling a
161.
little bit deflated, but one thing it does do is it lifts that pressure off your shoulders and the cloud above your head, and you think, oh well, that's that, and you
36.
start to throw some tidy stuff until you go within 1 yourself, and then you begin to think, oh, I could do this.
96. Scott, you require 125.
The joys of individual sport.
65.
You'll be happy with
Brian, you
that.
require
Dawson will have to go the bull
135.
route here. It's recommended there on your screen. Treble 20 for the bull. For the bullseye. A must, you feel. An absolute must. Oh, he's miles away.
97.
Miles
Awkward.
away.
That 25 just
Scott,
led
you
across
require
his target.
60.
To move along the hockey to get a line in.
Well, if the bull represented Barnsley, ended up
20.
in Wakefield there, I'm afraid
Brian,
he
you
needs
require
now
38.
to take double 19 out. Oh, just over it now and you're in. Oh, just over it now and you're in.
No
Oh,
score.
just
It
over
did
it
as you
and it
asked.
wasn't.
Scott, you require
Unbelievable.
40.
Don't know how that didn't go in.
Would you have gone 6 double 16?
Game
'Cause
shot
that's
and
the
the
result
7th
now.
leg.
Yeah.
Scott Waits.
Probably at 5-1 down.
8th leg, it's Brian
No, I
to
would have
throw
gone at it.
first. Game
If
on.
it had been a bit closer, then I probably would have risked it for a biscuit.
46.
Only 46, and that's going to let Waits in.
Waits himself will be surprised at
85.
how easy he is winning this one.
I mentioned some great players from South Yorkshire. Dennis Priestley obviously is the king in my
Yep.
view. You got to with 2 world titles. But
96.
what about West Yorkshire, his part of the world? Remember a guy called Graham Collins? He came from Halifax, I think. Brilliant, brilliant player. I'm probably going back a bit too far.
118.
But, I remember in the 70s and 80s, Jerry Haywood. Met Jerry, met Jerry not long ago.
Yeah, I remember
Wouldn't
Jerry.
have recognised him, but he came and said hello, and we had
46.
a great chat. I think it was over in Hull when the World Masters was on.
58.
So county that's absolutely all quarters of it enriched with great dart players, great darting tradition.
45.
Paul Reynolds.
Yes.
What a player Paul was. Now he was another exponent of the dart that went in low and at that rather obtuse angle.
100.
Came from near Huddersfield.
Would have been quite a thing to do years ago, a north v south battle.
Well, Lancashire, Yorkshire always has been and
92.
still is.
Oh, the county games.
Is a very
140.
hard-fought affair. It's always played in a friendly manner, but very competitive. Wanted 140 for the match.
100.
Gets the 100, sets it up nicely. It's been a very comfortable performance this by Waits. He's not had to extend himself. A little disappointing from Dawson, it has to be said, because one hit in 12 attempts
40.
at the double is just not good enough. Double 5 to end it all. Still alive,
30.
Dawson. 116. Some go the 19s
116.
route, others go the 20s. Now that's a good dart. 16 for tops. Can he do it? Oh,
76.
unlucky.
Yeah, he's,
Scott, you
apart from
require
that,
10.
that one dart at the ball, he has been unlucky. To wrap it up. Oh, he's going to get another chance.
6. Brian, you require 40.
That side said it all. I don't know what that was in Yorkshire, what that meant.
35.
But I think we'll translate it after Watershed.
Scott, you require
Yes,
4.
I think so.
Nobody misses twos.
Oh, I fancied that second dart. Can he just raise this over the top? That's
shot.
what I thought the second dart
And the
would have
match.
done. He got it with the third. That was a very comfortable win. I mentioned his 7-1 set wins on this stage in his 2 championship finals. But here, in this particular game, it's 7 legs to 1. And a comfortable win over his county captain.